That's what I mean. Greensboro, yeah. Greensboro's a great city.
I've been on the A&T campus. Yeah, man. It's, I mean, the thing is, though, I always say from my travels, I was like, no matter where you go in this country, the black people there feel like they didn't got fucked over. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter if you go to Key West, you go to Seattle, you go to Holyoke, Massachusetts, you go to
Manhattan Beach out here, Bruce's Beach.
Anywhere you go, it ain't even got to be very many of them, but they got, they have some legitimate gripes about their situation where they at. So yeah,
I used to piss the people. We gotta get back to college football after this. We took a little Highland detour.
Joe got you fired up. That's what it was.
Yeah. I used to piss the people in Atlanta off with that because shout out to like Isaac Hayes and like Killer Mike and all of these great black men that I know from Atlanta, and they talk about like how Atlanta is a mecca for black people, and in many ways it really is, right? In many ways, you got so many black millionaires and all that stuff. But then I looked up the wealth inequality in Atlanta between the white people that live in Atlanta and the black people that live in Atlanta. I'll be like, hey, man, Wakanda got some growing to do. Like, I'll be honest with y'all. like Wakanda got some growing to do. And it really bothers them because there's nothing prouder than a black Atlantean. Nothing prouder. So I go, hey, man, it's fucked up. It's fucked up there. Like,
all right, shalom. As always, I want to start these videos by giving all glory, honor, and thanks to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son for this wisdom and knowledge. That is Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah Kodash, as well as a double honors upon to the apostles and elders of GMS, Great Millstone, whom I've learned this truth under. This being a second installment of a video I did, I believe this past summer, called Edom's Crimes Upon Judah. And we know Edom, Esau, Edom is Esau. Biblically, that would represent mainly the so-called WHITEs, okay, who are currently in rulership. They are identified through the Bible as the wicked, okay? In Malachi 1 verse 4, they are the border of wickedness. They are the evil, perverted twin brother of Jacob and Esau. Okay, and Esau, this is his time to rule. This is currently his rulership. It speaks on that in Revelation, the 20th chapter, okay, as well as 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And Esau has done, this was, in real quick, credits to this. This was a college football podcast. You got this guy on the left used to work for TMZ. If you ever seen him, Van Lathan. And then this guy in the middle, his name is Tate Frazier. He works for the Ringer sports podcast. And then this guy as well, a former Division I college football player on TCU. And according to the internet, was a backup for Hall of Fame running back LaDainian Tomlinson at Texas Christian University at Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, so this is a college football podcast, but the spirit got out, and Judah, which will represent the so-called Negroes, so-called blacks, that spirit of oppression slipped out even on a college football podcast. And these brothers is doing well for a typical Judah in America, which shows you, our people, we need healing. We need salvation out of this place because this has been the land of our captivity. Pursuant to Baruch 3 verse 8, we are still yet this day in our captivity, okay, subject to payments. And this man Esau, Edom, done did our people very dirty throughout history of America. And this guy was going in on the right, Joel Anderson, on it don't matter what corner of Babylon the Great America you go to, Judah, so-called blacks, have, he used the word legitimate gripes on the crimes against them, how our people was done dirty. And the Bible would speak on that. So let's just get straight to it. Deuteronomy 28, verse 43. And this isn't a so-called black thing, because you got a guy like this who looks like a so-called white person, but he could be a straight Jake. He could be an Israelite. Okay. His seed line could go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Then you got guys like this as well, and they could be an Edomite, but we got to follow the spirit. And this guy as well, I think, he might be a Jake too, because when Judah started, bitching about the oppression we done suffered here, he didn't, typically an Edomite is going to try to fast forward and skip over that and ignore that and act like it was nothing. He done helped them pour more gas on the fire. Okay, but anyways, just to get the point across, this isn't a thing about skin color. Here we got the 12 tribes of Israel right here. And these people you see right here done got did very dirty, very, very dirty by the Edomites who done, came through and took the land by way of blood, slavery, oppression, okay, war. And our people are still suffering from them scars yet this day. All right, so let's get to it. Lord willing, this be edifying. Deuteronomy 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and thou shalt and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenedest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. Okay, and our people are suffering under that today. And you go to all these cities throughout Babylon, they call Atlanta, they use the term Wakanda from that movie. I'm drawing a blank on the movie, not too big on movies, but that movie basically, it was like a Judite heaven, a so-called black heaven, okay? Wakanda, that's the kingdom to come, not just so-called Negroes, okay? Or the Southern Kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, so-called Negroes, West Indians, Jamaicans, Haitians, but all of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we gonna be up in the kingdom to come. But right now, we're last. The scriptures speak on them that are first shall be last, and them that are last shall be first. And I'll close off with the beloved elder Malcolm. It is evident who's last in this society, who's last in this world, and it's our people. That's why we need salvation. And you go to any one of these cities, the wealth inequality is crazy. And Lord willing, I start doing a series on that. It don't matter if you in Atlanta, Boston, Sacramento, Fort Worth, Dallas. The Esau is up very high and our people are down low very bad. Okay, this is his kingdom and we are in subjection under this man within his kingdom. And he's about to come down with great wrath because he know his time at the top is coming to an end. And that's his revert factory settings is pulling his sword out. This man lives by the sword. Especially, he has that perpetual hatred against his brother Jacob. Okay, this is Obadiah 1 verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. That's talking about you Edomites. You done did your twin brother Jacob very dirty. Okay, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and our people are still dealing with those wounds under your captivity yet this day, and you ain't paid the price for that, but you bout to. Okay, all these lands were taken by way of bloodshed and violence and oppression after you seized those lands. Okay, this is the scriptures identify this place, Babylon the Great America, as a bloody city. This is a very bloody place. This is a giant tombstone of our people, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is Numbers 35 verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. And Esau done shed a whole lot of blood upon our people. Okay, that was his gift, the sword. But hey, they're just, Galatians 6 verse 7, the Heavenly Father Yahweh is not mocked. Whatsoever a man reap, that's what he shall sow. And this man reaped nothing but bloodshed while he had his little time at rulership. So that the Lord's going to require that same recompense on him. Nothing but blood in this third woe. Thermal ICBM nuclear missiles is going to get shot on his little kingdom of wickedness. And that's just the beginning. Okay, then he's going to have to serve Jacob in the kingdom to come, because he was the head on this side. Our people were the tail. Okay, going back to Jacob and Esau within the womb. Okay, but in the kingdom to come, he's going to serve us just like currently we serving him. Okay, there's not a corner you can go to here in Babylon the Great America where the people of this chart don't have a history of being done dirty. Okay, done very bad here on this side. And Esau gonna have to pay for that. This wasn't just any group of people he done afflicted. He done afflicted the Israelites, the Lord's people. Ezekiel 35 at the top. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Mount Seir, which would represent you Edomites, you so-called WHITEs, okay? And say unto it, Thus said the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sit thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains, talking about government, with his slain men. In thy hills, in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. Okay, there's that word perpetual again. So Esau done had a perpetual hatred against our people, trying to oppress us every which way possible he can. Okay, but that same perpetual hatred he done showed continually for our people is going to be required of him through judgment, which is going to come in the form of fire, all right, in this third woe, and in plagues as well. Just like the Lord plagued ancient Egypt, he's going to plague modern day Egypt, which is run by you Edomites. And we'll close off on this. Speaking on our people know, nothing but being done dirty and oppression on this side. And we'll close off with the beloved Elder Malcolm of GMS Chicago on why this man Esau Edom always goes out of his way to do dirty the Israelites, which would be the head tribe Judah, the so-called Negroes, but on down to the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. There's a reason for that, okay? Because when you make it equal with this man, it's game over. Jake will take over. Jacob really meaning supplanter. He will supplant Esau, just like Southern Kingdom did in ancient Rome, okay? That's why he's got to rig the system for him to stay on top. Because if you make it even, it's not a fair fight, and Jacob will take over like we always do. This is Baruch 4, verse 24. Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from Yahweh. For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and thou shalt tread upon his neck. My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and they were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahweh. For ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For as it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. For he that had brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation. Take, O good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. And that's starting with the elect. Okay, 2/3 of our people are not going to get it, and it's going to get cut down by the sword. But 1/3, I believe it's Baruch, the 2nd chapter, is going to remember themselves in the lands of their captivity. And Lord willing, this is our final captivity as it is written. Okay. This is Baruch 2 verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. Okay, and the elect, the remnant, Lord willing, we be of that number, is coming back to remembrance of who we are. Not only that, we're able to identify Esau, Edom, for who he is, and the rest of these heathen nations. They are our natural born enemies, and chiefly starting with you Edomites. Speaks on that in Psalms 83, as well as Lamentations, the 2nd chapter. They become confederate to oppress us. Okay, and you heard, the spirit of this video. Every corner of Babylon the Great America you go to, so-called blacks, which would be the tribe of Judah, have a legitimate gripe of being done dirty, of a dark history. And that's shows you this is the land of our captivity. So these Edomites don't need no salvation because they the ones in power. It's our people who need salvation out of your bitch ass hands. You're the violent man. This is a very violent man. And let's close off with the beloved elder Malcolm. He's gonna, highlight further of the oppression of Judah onto the rest of the tribes. Okay, I hope this was edifying. Shalom.
And that's it. But here we go.
Weird watching black people get mad at white people for starting functioning white communities. It's like, how happy we'd be to see black people start a functioning black community.
No, what's really weird is when white people try to get on this app and pretend that every time a successful black community has been started, white people didn't jump in and destroy it.
Exactly.
Don't believe me? We have multiple examples. Let's start off with Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier looks beautiful, doesn't it? It was a wonderful black community until it got too successful. And then white people ran the black people out of their community, dammed up a river, and flooded their town. It's all right, though. Tons of white people lose their lives every single summer.
About 700 have died.
I don't know why I find it so funny. I do. I find it hysterical. Dumbass white people enjoy their lives on this lake, and the souls of black people take their lives. But there's more. What about Greenwood? Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was incredibly successful. But then there was a claim that a black man hurt a white woman. Fucking white women. And so a whole bunch of white men came into the town and set it ablaze, killing over 300 people. It was an incredibly successful town. Until again, set ablaze by white people, because God forbid black people have a successful town. There's another one, Rosewood, Florida. There's not even a town left. White people are that weak. They were successful. They claim in their history, in white people history, that they killed 6 people. It was closer to 200.
Yep.
200 people that they massacred. Anyways, what were you saying about you'd be so happy if black people created a successful black town?
She shitted on that fool. All right, she did. Let me get a scripture.